Well, the Dallas Cowboys got some good news as both Tyler Guyton and Trayvon Diggs practiced all week long and do not have an injury designation going into tomorrow's season opener in Philly, a game you can catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Speaking of the Cowboys, they locked up fullback Hunter Luepke to a 2-year, $7.5 million deal.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
This is Extra Innings with Pleasure.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
Rock and roll! The Texans win it!
You've been called the Da Vinci of our time. What do you say to that?
Absolutely ridiculous. I don't paint.
That goal is history! A walk-off home run!
And it's going to be legendary.
James Pledger wraps your day with insight, opinion, plenty of sarcasm, and of course, your calls. He'll even pour a beer out the door for his favorite story of the day. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. Now, here's Pledge.
Welcome into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Thank you for joining me, however you may be joining me, whether that's 94.1 on your FM dial, if you happen to be locked in listening at sasportstar.com via our AA Best Bail Bonds audio player, or if you're watching the show live on YouTube. That's right. We put all of our shows live on YouTube, whether that's the Morning Huddle from 6 to 10 with Rob and AJ, whether it is the Blitz with Jason and Joe from 2 to 6, or right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure. Just go to YouTube, search SA Sports Star, go ahead, like, subscribe. You can comment along with the show as it happens, or you can feel free to call in the old-fashioned way, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776 if you want to be a part of the conversation. Always love to have conversations with y'all. And one of the conversations that's been had since Saturday is Arch Manning overrated? Because there was a lot of hype, there was a lot of lead up, there was a lot of expectation placed upon this young man's shoulders. And earlier today on the Blitz, Jason and Joe were talking with our Longhorn insider, Bob Ballou, sports director at KITV, and the co-host of The Stampede, who he does with Mac Brown and Vince Young, a couple of Longhorn legends. So who better to talk to about the Longhorns, the future moving forward, and what to expect as Arch Manning continues as the starting quarterback of the Texas Longhorns this season? Bob Ballou on the Blitz.
Bob Ballou, our Longhorn insider from KI Television in Austin, joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. I'm guessing you're going to have a very positive outlook on what we can look forward to after that debut for Arch Manning.
This is the guy Joe wanted. So I've been waiting 8 months to say that.
Mm-hmm.
This is the guy Joe wanted.
He misses Quinn now.
No, I don't. Look,
I kid.
Arch, he got off to a rough start. I mean, there's no sugar coating it. The guy didn't play well. But there's a lot, and I'm not making excuses for Arch, Bob, but I just think there was a lot of that to go around. I don't think Sark called a very good game either.
Yeah, let's get into it. I mean, I think there's a ton to get into with what happened on Saturday. If you go back and watch the first play from scrimmage, it's a rollout for Arch. They're in zone coverage, and he's got DeAndre Moore wide open at the 43.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the defender's at midfield, and if DeAndre catches that and makes a move, there's a chance he either goes for 20, 30 yards or to the house. And Arch left the ball about 3 yards short, just a straight bounce pass to him. It was an awesome play call right off the bat, and Arch didn't get it there. I thought they ran the ball well, and I think there was a real emphasis on, to me, it was, we didn't run the ball last year against Ohio State. We didn't run the ball last year against Georgia. We really didn't run it against Arizona State in the Peach Bowl. We're going to run the football this year. And that there's going to be no mistake about it. And I thought they looked good in the run game. I thought the offensive line held up. I think for the first 2 quarters, Arch Manning was just I don't even know what the right word is. It wasn't good. I think we all know that. The adjustments that they made at the half put him in better position. And by the time they got to the fourth quarter, we were starting to see the throws.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the throw to Jack Endries on the sideline on his final drive, it was a 30-yard, just a dart right where it needed to be, and then for Jack to hold on to it. I think that's what we expected to see. I think the throw to Parker Livingston for the touchdown was a really good throw. He had another one to Wingo for 28 over the middle. Those are the things I think we will start to see. It just wasn't very good Saturday. And to me, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. He saw a defense and some schemes defensively that he will probably, unless they play Ohio State again, he'll probably never see again until he gets to the NFL. And all of those things, I think, in the end were exactly what Sark said they would be. They were learning lessons. They were good. He said that before the game started. We're going to learn a lot about who we are and where we need to go. And he left the game saying, I learned a lot, and I feel really good getting on the plane saying we're a good football team. It was interesting. I don't know that, you can blame whatever you want to blame. Arch just wasn't very good. Sark said after on Monday, he said, I wish I'd gotten Arch more involved in the run game early. That was probably something that I don't want to say regret, but just something he wishes he had done. Let him get hit, let him take a hit, and then let him go play, because sometimes with Arch, it seems like that's what wakes him up. So I don't know. All in all, they're fine. This whole, oh my God, Arch is this, Arch is that, nationally, all this stuff that's going on. It's like, let's just settle down. Let's figure out who he is. If that's who he is, 8 weeks from now, we're going to be having a real different conversation. But I don't think that's who he is. I think we're going to see a much better version of Arch when we get in October. These 3 games are scrimmages and whatever you want to call them. But when we get into October, we'll start to see what he's learned.
Bob Ballou from KI Television in Austin also hosts a podcast called The Stampede with Vince Young and Mac Brown. I'm curious, Mac Brown and Vince Young, your conversations with them, especially up in Columbus, because the game just looked too fast. Once it slows down, I think he'll be fine. But from a guy that's been in that position and a coach that's had to deal with that, overall, their reaction to what they were seeing, because there was no way Arch was going to live up to the expectation, but my goodness, I don't think anybody expected him to miss it by that much.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think the first half was just really bad. I thought by the fourth quarter he had settled in and started kind of finding who he is and who the people think he's going to be. From Mac and Vince's perspective, I thought was really interesting. It's not like they were holding back. I mean, I asked Vince to, what'd you think of Arch? He said, I'd give him a C-.
That high, huh?
Yeah. But I mean, you can have open and honest conversations about that stuff. And I think that's going to be the good part of this. Mac said last week, there are 5 things Texas needs to do to win this game. They didn't do 3 of the 5. And one of those 5 that he mentioned was you've got to score when you're on the goal line. And so, you, as a coach, you have a good perspective. If you're Vince and you've been in that position before, you have a good perspective. And I think both of them were willing to be very, not everything's through burnt orange colored glasses, and kind of step back and say it was a struggle, but that's okay, because it's supposed to be, if it goes right, it's going to be a 16-game season, and they'll be in the national championship game. So it's a long season. I think they're going to learn a lot over these next 3 weeks in terms of what kind of depth they have from some of these freshmen. And then they'll let Arch get into it. But I also think the running game, I keep saying that, Saturday, I think everybody thinks Arch is going to come out and throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and show us who he really is. I don't think that'll be the case. I think they're going to establish the run game. I think C.J. Baxter and Quintravian Wiseman are going to be critical to this offense this year. And I think we're going to see some of that Saturday. And then, obviously we'll get the good dose of Arch as well.
Well, look, I have no problem with that. And I think Texas should establish the running game, especially with the defense. The defense was spectacular. We'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
But getting back to what you said about Mac Brown, you've got to score when you're on the goal line. I guess that's where I really have a problem with the calls that Sark was making, especially that quarterback sneak. Bob, I don't know, and you were at the stadium. I'm watching on TV. I think every player for Ohio State was on the line of scrimmage, and they were in the backfield immediately. Arch didn't have a chance to sneak that ball in. that to me, when I'm watching that on TV, I'm going, why? I mean, there's got to be something else that you've got up your sleeve for that other than to try a quarterback sneak with the entire Ohio State defense on the line.
Yeah, a couple points to that. I think, number one of the Ohio State linemen's full helmet was over the foot, like across the line. So you could have called offside there.
Cheaters.
For the record. But way more importantly than that, I think there's something to be said for what you're saying. I think Texas had first and goal at the 1 against Ohio State last year with 3 minutes to go, the chance to tie the game. They ran Jarrett Gibson up the middle, and he went nowhere. And then obviously we know what happened from there with a toss sweep that didn't go well. What Sark said after the game, or not after the game, on Monday, he said, we thought they didn't have their big guys in the game because I think they were on the 4 before that or whatever the play was that got them down to the goal line. And he said, we thought if we went fast, it wouldn't give them a chance to sub in their big guys, and we'd have a better chance of doing what we wanted to do in that situation. He said, we've worked a lot on that. We've worked a lot on the quarterback sneak, a lot on getting movement in that offensive line, and it didn't happen. To the bigger point, they were 0 for 2 in the red zone with the ball twice inside the 10, once on the 1, and they didn't score. And that leads to the bigger question of why are they having such big red zone issues? Last Monday before the Ohio State game, when we talked to Sark, Kirk Bowles from the Statesman, or from the Houston Chronicles, been covering this team forever, asked him, hey, the red zone issues have flared up over the last few years. What are you doing to try to stop them? And Sark was ready. So he knew he was going to get the question at some point. And he was ready, and he said, hey, do you want a good stat? He said, 2 years ago, we were 50% in the red zone. Last year, we were 64%, so we made an improvement scoring touchdowns. It's an issue, and he knows it's an issue, and he's doing what he can or what he thinks is best to fix it. But they've got to be, on the goal line, I think they've got to be more creative, again, against Ohio State and Georgia and San Jose State, whatever. If they do it on Saturday and they score in a quarterback sneak, that's not a big deal to me. But when they get the big games in the red zone, can they make it happen? And I think that's where the issue is. And they've got to find creative ways to get these guys open. I've seen things from a tight end coming in motion and taking the snap and running over somebody, or going between the legs and snapping it to somebody. I mean, finding a rollout right, throw back to somebody left. Like they've got to find something that works for them because they haven't found it yet. And it's certainly an issue. It's certainly something that they've got to figure out. And it's going to stay as this like hovering, what's the answer to this throughout the season, because they only play so many good games this year. They only play so many good teams this year. And you're going to want to see it in those games when you get in that situation.
And again, is the players executing, but the consistent play calling. And I know I said this last year. I was at the Georgia game. Early in the game, Sark would be on the Jumbotron, and he looked nervous. Saturday, again, Ohio State, camera goes on him, and the big game pressure, it looked like he didn't handle it well. Then the play calling. I mean, hell, I joked with a friend of mine at this watch party that I was at. They need to figure out ways to get that punter more involved. That might have been one of the best players offensively for the Longhorns on Saturday. That punter is incredible.
From Australia, kind of reminds you of Michael Dixon. I think he's a weapon. I mean, there's no question he's a weapon. He came from Utah in the transfer portal this year, and they again, those are the things that'll win you games. I mean, that's part of the reason they were in the game in the first half was he kept hitting them inside the 5. And gave that offense a chance to do something. So, yeah, he's going to be really good. And I kind of said this too, obviously on 4th and 1 from the 1, I understand why you're not going to kick the field goal in that situation. I do. I'm not advocating for it. I'm not trying to say he was wrong in going for it, whatever. But if you do kick the field goal there, it's a 7-3 game, and your defense has been playing lights out for the most part. You kick it deep, you make them go 80 yards or 75 yards. And then let's say they score that touchdown. Now it's 14-3. Well, you get back in the red zone with 7 minutes to go and you kick another field goal. Now it's 14-6. And it's still a 1-possession game. And you get that stop and you score a touchdown. All of a sudden you got a chance to tie the game. So I do think there's something to be said for I get it on the 1. I understand it. Sark's always aggressive. He goes for it on 4th down a lot. That's his MO. That's okay. But I do think there are times where you can say, boy, this is a low-scoring game. Points are at a premium. Maybe it's time we kick a field goal, get some points out of this, and let our defense do its thing. And I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. But there are little things like that to watch, how they play out. You can always question something. If Arch gets in the end zone there, we're not having this conversation. I get it, but he didn't. And so we are having the conversation again. And that's why we're having the conversation, is because, again, they're in this predicament.
That was Bob Ballou. If you want to catch that entire interview, go to sasportstar.com. Check out the audio vault powered by AA Best Bail Bonds. You can catch it fully right there. And look, Rob Spencer on our YouTube live feed says, UT fans leading up to the game saying the Horns were going to annihilate the Buckeyes. Look, I'm pretty attuned to, as being a Longhorn fan, what the chatter is surrounding stuff. I didn't hear anything about annihilation when it came to Ohio State in the Horseshoe on this Saturday to open up the season in Arch Manning's first ever road start. Not what I was hearing, but regardless, he says now he's hearing excuses on why they lost. And are they reasons or excuses? Because they did lose. They lost. They were outplayed. They did not handle the pressure well. They did not step up to the moment, and they're 0-1 because of it. Did it look awful? No, the defense looked incredible, actually. Does it look like some things Arch Manning can clean up as he goes along? Yes, and he's got 3 cupcakes to get ready for his next big game. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Now, like I say, reasons or excuses. Receivers didn't get open. Don't think Sark called necessarily the best game, as you just heard from Bob Ballou. And I think Arch played bad on top of it all. So it was a cascade of mistakes for the Longhorns. They have to clean it up if they want any hope of competing for the SEC and a national title. It's as simple as that. This is Extra Innings with Pledger. I am James Pledger. Martin, I see you on the line there. We're talking Cowboys next, as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer, ended up joining the Morning Huddle earlier this morning, a weekly visit he will make, which will come every Friday at 8:30 from henceforth, starting next week. He joined today because they play tomorrow. But from moving forward, they will have him tonight or next Friday, moving forward, 8:30 on Fridays. Brian Schottenheimer, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, 225-2121, or online at mybestbailbonds.com. We're coming back, talking Cowboys and taking your calls on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. This is Extra Innings with Pledger.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star is calling all golfers. The Fall Golf Classic is back. Mark your calendars for Monday, September 29th, and lock in your spot for one of the most fun golf events of the year at the Olympia Hills Golf Club. For just $120 per player or $400 for a foursome, you'll get 18 holes of fun, friendly competition, and non-stop laps with your crew. But don't wait. Spots will sell out fast, and once they're gone, they're gone. This isn't your average uptight tournament. It's all about cutting loose, enjoying the day, and supporting a great cause. The Community Foundation of the Hill Country, presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Charm Club, and sponsored by Fly by Yingling and PPL Motorhomes. And when the final putt drops, the party's just getting started. Head over to the Break Room Bar on Pat Booker Road for the official after party. Cold drinks, great food, and the perfect finish to a perfect day. Don't get left out. Grab your crew, grab your clubs, and get ready for a Monday you won't forget. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm. How can I help?
Hi, I got hurt in a wreck, but I don't know if it's really worth getting an attorney.
Don't worry. You called the right place.
I'm Jeff Davis. At Davis Law Firm, we're here for you 24/7, and you don't pay unless we win. We recently secured a jury verdict for $210 million in a wrongful death case. So if you've been hurt, call us at 444-4444.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the penthouse to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free. Select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. One coat coverage, interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 8/21 through 9/3.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want to boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Turn things all the way up and find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy.
Legendary doesn't happen by chance. It happens because it's what BetMGM does. Sign up for BetMGM and check out all the exciting new ways you can make this pro football season unforgettable. Shoot your shot with same-game parlays, call your plays like a pro with live betting, or bet on a market you didn't know existed thanks to BetMGM Originals. You'll be on the edge of your seat from the very first snap, no matter what type of fan you are. Earn BetMGM rewards points on every bet. Take advantage of football offers found nowhere else, like a second chance on a first touchdown bet, and keep an eye out for rewards dropping in your account throughout the season. Never settle for the ordinary. Sign up today. BetMGM. Make it legendary. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. Specific promotional offers are not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star and AARP Texas are sending Cowboy fans to Jerry World to see America's team play all season long. How do you get in on the action? Head to sasportstar.com now and register to win. sasportstar.com. Live it up with the boys in the Big D from AARP Texas and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. It's Extra Innings with Pledger on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 941 FM, sasportstar.com. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all joining me tonight. A lot of comments on the jacket. If you see what's going on, go to our YouTube channel. You can see. But, yeah, nice little jacket. Coyote was asking if I'm wearing a hoodie in this weather. Yeah, part of it is studio gets cold sometimes. The other part of it is I don't care. Heat doesn't bother me that much, so I can get away with wearing a hoodie and not care during the summer. It's pretty awesome. But what's said and done, you'll see Brian Schottenheimer in hoodies when he's at the podium. He was wearing one the other day. Brian Schottenheimer, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, he ended up joining the Blitz a little bit early, he ended up joining the morning huddle with AJ and Rob a little bit earlier this morning. We'll bring that to you here in just a minute. But first, as always, I love to take your phone calls. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Martin, what's going on, my man? How you doing? Welcome into Extra Innings with Pledger.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm always good, man. What's happening?
Man, it's going to get ugly tomorrow. I just hope Jack don't get hurt tomorrow. Because then it's going to really be bad,
It'll be real bad.
I don't know about Jerry and what direction he's going. If he was going to trade Micah, he should have traded to the AFC, That's just crazy. He should have traded him to a desperate team where you can get a number one picks, but, within the top 10, at least top 15. Green Bay, he just gave him the Super Bowl.
I mean,
they're gonna.
To be fair, Martin, it's easy, but also hard to predict where a team's going to be picking. Remember a couple years ago, Texans traded their own draft pick and held on to Cleveland's when they traded back up for Will Anderson Jr. because everybody thought the Texans draft picks were going to be the better of the two draft picks. Turned out to not be the case. The Texans actually had the worst draft picks. The Browns held the better draft pick that year. And you see it all over the place. The Carolina Panthers moving all the way up from 10-1 to get the number one overall pick and jump them. They gave up a ton of assets to the Bears. Little did they know one of those assets was going to be the future number one overall pick in Caleb Williams. You just don't know because injuries and the just uncertainty of the game of football and how things can play out, especially in a violent contact collision sport like this. It's very hard to understand where teams are going to fall. I mean, look at the San Francisco 49ers last year. You would have never thought they were going to be a top 10 to 15 team in the NFL, but they were ravaged by injuries last year, from Brandon Ayuk to Christian McCaffrey to Deebo Samuel. I mean, everybody on that team got hurt.
I'll give you that, but this is the Cowboys. They're still under the curse of Jimmy Johnson. He got that voodoo doll of Jerry Jones.
Sure, but let me ask you this, Martin. How good do you think Green Bay is if Jordan Love gets hurt?
Oh, not that good, but
those picks will look pretty good if something happens to Jordan Love. Remember, last year he got hurt early in the year in that first game against Philly down in Brazil, and he was never really right. I mean, they made the playoffs, but he never got right after that first game. Hopefully he can stay healthy this year, but we haven't seen him stay healthy to this point.
I'll give you that, but they wouldn't be Dallas bad because Green Bay has the better defense in Dallas, and that keeps you in the game.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt. Green Bay's got the better defense. They've got as good, if not even, offense And I may even lean slightly better just because of their ability to run the football with Josh Jacobs. But it's going to be an interesting game because Micah Parsons could have 5 sacks in that game.
That's true. That's true. Well, I still got my Rangers in this, and Rangers are dangerous if they make the playoffs in a 2 out of 3 series.
Yep. If they can get it right and if they can sneak in, they will definitely be a team to watch because, especially with that rotation that they have between Eovaldi and DeGrom, and they could make some noise with a very short pitching roster in a very short series.
Yeah, I saw this something on The Athletic, and they were asking people, like, if your team made the playoffs, what team would you be scared of? And they all agreed it would be the Rangers.
I hear it, my man. I appreciate the phone
All right,
call,
have a
Martin.
great day, sir.
You too, man.
You have a good day.
Speaking of the Cowboys and what could happen this upcoming season, the guys with the Morning Huddle, AJ and Rob, they managed to get the answers from the man himself, Brian Schottenheimer, the head coach of your Dallas Cowboys. He joined the Morning Huddle earlier this morning. We'll play that for you coming up next right here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Dallas Cowboys fans, come on down! It's AJ and Rob from the Morning Huddle, and you could be the next contestant on
The Stat Is
Right.
Every week leading up to the week of the Cowboys home game, AJ and Rob toss out a Cowboys player and a stat from the upcoming home game. Passing yards, rushing yards, number of times Dak adjusts his wristband mid-play, or perhaps CeeDee Lamb mouthguard chews per quarter. Whatever. All you have to do is predict that stat, get the closest, and bam! You're headed to Jerry World with a pair of tickets to the next Cowboys home game. Think of it like The Price is Right, but instead of winning a blender, you get to scream, "How about them Cowboys?" inside AT&T Stadium. So study up, Cowboy Nation, and listen to the Morning Huddle to play. The Stat Is Right, only on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet?
RV wins!
Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach?
RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states and situations.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Hey, listen up, San Antonio. Multiple tours overseas, long nights monitoring cyber activity, years of protecting the country. It all adds up at University of Maryland Global Campus. Earn up to 90 credits for prior learning, military experience, and training. We call that credit where credit is due. Whether you're active duty and looking at what's next, or a veteran looking for something new, our degrees and certificate programs teach the application of emerging technologies and enduring life skills. So get started on a degree or certificate with personalized local support services and online and hybrid courses right here in San Antonio. At UMGC, you'll find everything from online to hybrid courses and lifetime career services to scholarship opportunities, making your education journey flexible, fast, and affordable. Apply now and save with no application fee through September 3rd. Visit UMGC at San Antonio or umgc.edu/SATX.
Have you or a loved one been arrested? Call the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, and get the aggressive legal help you deserve. From criminal defense to personal injury, attorney Jesse Hernandez and his powerhouse team are ready to fight for your rights. Calls are answered 24/7 because legal trouble doesn't keep office hours. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez. The Texas Chancla has your back.
Connecticut water systems are the best of the best. I personally have one in my home. All those other water softener systems out there are junk in comparison.
For a limited time, receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink. $400 off with trade-in and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. Call Connecticut of San Antonio and the Hill Country. 210-656-PURE.
Check them out at ConnecticutSA.com and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you.
License number 38961.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over those beautiful icy balls. Local craft beers and handcrafted whiskey cocktails round out an adventurous drink menu that's second to none. And Twin Peaks hand-stretched flatbreads, oh, they're coming out hot. Close out your night with our favorite flatbreads. They're available during the late night hours, Sunday through Thursday for only $8. That's only from your favorite lodge, Twin Peaks. Eat, drinks, and all those scenic views.
GNC knows that you're not always feeling it at the gym, but don't get down, get lit, and get more out of every workout. Beyond Raw Lit is a clinically dosed pre-workout that flips the switch and gives you more energy, focus, intensity, and pumps. The perfect combo for a killer workout. Plus, it's got incredible flavors and thousands of 5-star reviews, so you know it's good. Pick it up at GNC stores or go to GNC.com.
GimmeTheVin.com's big cash giveaway. I hate games and scams. So when we had the idea to give away $25,000, I was very careful about the way it was orchestrated. Get the top of the market money and enter to be the lucky person to get $25,000. This is no joke. This is no game. This is very real. Just like GimmeTheVin.com.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GimmeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GimmeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to SASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pledger here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am James Pledger. Appreciate y'all riding along with me tonight as we'll take you up till 7 o'clock. Get you ready for the Aggie Coaches Show. Mike Elko joins Andrew Monaco. That's coming up at 8 o'clock right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Is brought to you by Just Pots. But earlier this morning, AA Best Bail Bonds brought you the head coach of America's team, Brian Schottenheimer, as he will join the guys every week. And since their game is not on a Sunday this week, he will normally join on Fridays at 8:30ish. But he joined this morning because they end up playing in Philly tomorrow night against the Eagles on Banner Night. And it was interesting to kind of hear Shotty talk to the guys and kind of feel each other out in this first week of the season. As you know, Brian Schottenheimer, new to San Antonio Sports Star. They had a rapport with Mike McCarthy after all of these years. Now it is time to build a rapport with Schottenheimer, who seems much easier at building relationships with than would have been Mike McCarthy. And it's going to be very interesting to kind of see how this plays out through the entire season. But Brian Schottenheimer, your head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, this morning brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds on the Morning Huddle.
What's up, guys? How we doing? Doing great.
Man, we were just talking about you and kind of the path that you've taken, which is a unique one, I think, in NFL, sir. And like the name Schottenheimer, it's real easy to say, oh, Nepo baby. But you've been doing this for 26 years in the NFL, and you've worked under Pete Carroll. You've worked under a bunch of different guys. I mean, obviously, Coach McCarthy going up to last year. How's it feel to finally be like the guy who the pressure's on? It's all everything's in your court. Is this an awesome feeling for you?
Well, I think what's awesome about it, guys, is the chance to go out into competition in what we know is one of the most competitive fields in the world, and put a team out there that you oversee. I certainly don't do this by myself. I've got an incredible coaching staff. We've got incredible leaders on this football team, and there's been a lot of life lessons learned over my 26 years, almost 29 coaching. Overall, there's been a ton of lessons learned, and I have learned so much from so many great people. I really, when I first broke into the business, I just really wanted to kind of be a sponge. And I remember sitting on my first coaching job was in St. Louis. I was basically a QC intern, whatever you want to call it, for Dick Vermeil when he first came back into coaching after an 18-year sabbatical to do TV and radio. And I remember walking to the first staff meeting, and there was like 14 seats, and I was the 15th guy. And so what did I do? I just plopped my butt down on the ground and had my notebook, and I wrote everything that Dick Vermeil or Bud Carson and those guys talked about. And you mentioned some of the names, man. I mean, I would not be in this seat if it wasn't for guys like Mike McCarthy, Pete Carroll, Marty Schottenheimer. I'm playing for Steve Spurrier at Florida because I think I truly did take something from everybody. And now as I get ready to go out into this opportunity tomorrow night, like I truly feel like I'm way, way, way more prepared than I certainly was, 2006, however many years ago that was, when I was getting these offers to potentially be head coaches. And that's it's a feeling that makes me very confident going into these situations.
The 10th head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer, joining us here. Taking over from within is a very different challenge. When you arrive from outside, you come in with a fresh idea, you got your guys, and you come in and you take over. You're reinventing on the inside. You got there and kind of worked your way through. What's been the challenge there of implementing something that you wanted to do inside the system that you weren't quite ready to do there? Have you run into that? And what's been the biggest surprise inside of taking over the team?
No, well, the biggest surprise is very clear. I think you get a phone call or an issue that pops up every day that you just didn't see coming. And that's when you're in charge and you oversee something this large. And again, that's where I truly think common sense comes into play, because we have playbooks for everything, but there's not a playbook for some of the situations and phone calls that kind of come across your desk. And I think sometimes those issues are very different. And sometimes I use just common sense. Sometimes I use the fact that I'm a dad when I'm dealing with some of our players and maybe some of the issues that they're dealing with. And so I'm just a sounding board. And honestly, I really think that taking over an organization that you've been a part of is a huge advantage. I don't think there is a negative. The building, the brand, a lot of the people, the faces, how to get things done. Like when I know I need to get something done from a contractual standpoint, I know who to go to. When I know I need to adjust something in the locker room, I know who to go to. And it's not just that, it's they know me. And so I do think I'm a big relationship guy. I'm a big culture guy. And that's a huge advantage to someone like myself that's taking over for an organization they've been with for a long time.
Cowboys coach Brian Schottenheimer joining us here on the program. Coach, 9 years out of 10, a new head coach of the Dallas Cowboys would be the biggest news in an offseason for the Dallas Cowboys. You've kind of, I don't want to say lucked into, but you've kind of flown under the radar
undercover
as far as those types of things go. Like it hasn't been the headline story of the offseason. Is that a positive or a negative thing for you that like people aren't really talking about the team that you're fielding? They're more talking about the one guy who now is no longer there. How do you look at that?
Well, again, look, this is never going to be about me. I get when you sit in one of these chairs, and certainly for the Dallas Cowboys, you have all eyes on you. I don't think that changes, guys. And at the end of the day, you guys don't know me that well. You're going to get to know me. But the one thing that I will always be is I'm always going to stay true to who I am. I'm an authentic person. We're going to go into battle against Philly, and we're going to go into battle against the Giants and Washington. And I'm not going to change. I'm not. And the reason I believe that is because I've seen elite coaches get to this position where they go and they've worked their way up the ladder. They go on from being a position coach to a coordinator. Then they get their chance to be a head coach. And believe me when I tell you, I've seen it firsthand on multiple occasions. They change and they become something that they're not. And I think that's the worst thing in the world to do, because why would you change and be different than what got you into that chair at the same time? And so that's just the way I'm wired, man. I am an authentic person. I'm going to be real. I'm big time energy, a lot of juice. I'm more positive than not. I do definitely have a temper, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be who I am, and I think that's really important to me.
Coach, we were there in training camp for a week or so, and we watched how things went, and it was a very different feel from the year before. It was I don't want to call it collegiate, but it was a little bit more fun, it felt like. And talk about your desire to kind of create that kind of camp and the culture that you see most necessary now that you've lost a leader, and where do you see that culture going, and who's going to fill the void there?
Well, I'll start with this. Number one, I mean, culture to me is everything. The culture here is going to be all about winning. I mean, that's what we're going to be judged on. But we really talk three things. We talk, we want it to be a family. We're going to do things first class. And then the last one is joyful, man. Like, if you can't be excited to go line up and play against the Philadelphia Eagles here in a couple hours, like, I mean, you're in the wrong business. But at the end of the day, I'll tell you guys a quick story. So we literally did voting for captains the other day, and I kind of stood up in front of the team and explained my vision. I said, hey, here's the deal. I want to have 4 captains, and we will always have a game captain. And so I let them vote, and the vote is very true and pure, and there's no fixing of numbers or things like that. But the team spoke very, very, very clearly to me, and there were basically 6 guys that stood out amongst everybody else. And so what do? We have 6 captains now. And I think that just speaks to the leadership of this football team. It speaks to the culture that we've built in the locker room, a culture that's built on trust and work ethic and connection and things like that. And as a football coach and really just as a man that loves this game, that gets me excited.
Coach, last year you were obviously a part of this thing, and the 2 games against the Eagles did not go well. 75-13, the combined score of those games. Now, the bright side is Dak Prescott was not in either of those games. Catching the Eagles early, you've got generally a mostly healthy roster right now. Is it good to catch a team like this, arguably the best team in the NFC, the defending champions? Is it good to catch them early, or would you rather have had a few more games under your belt before you got thrown into this fire?
No, listen, we don't get to control those things. The league does a great job of setting the matchups and things like that. Look, here's the deal. The Philadelphia Eagles are a terrific football team. The coaching staff led by Nick Sirianni and Vic Fangio are great. They've got good veteran players. Again, they're a very, very talented football team. And, again, I'm excited to let our guys go out there and play. And I really do believe this. I mean, I think of it this way. I think of it that every game we play, we're guaranteed 17 of these deals. Each one is its own championship opportunity. We don't get too high. We don't get too low. We go into Philadelphia. We come home to play the Giants at noon. 2 very different scenarios, right? Prime time against the defending Super Bowl champs, and then coming home to play a noon game. I think the only one we have at home against the Giants. The one's not a greater weight than the other. You go play the game with great juice and energy, and you fly around and you lean on one another, and that's what we believe in. And so, again, the answer to the question is, we'll play anybody, anytime, anywhere. And again, just we got to go out there and take care of business, and that starts with protecting the football and owning the line of scrimmage.
I was head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer, and he'll join the morning huddle every Friday from here on out at 8:30 to get you ready for the games. It is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And of course, all guests join via the Buyers Barricades guest line, who provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Coming up next, we'll get you ready for that game, give you some predictions, since we're out at 6 to get you ready for the pregame of that game tomorrow. So I got to get my picks in tonight on what's going to happen tomorrow. That's all coming up here on Extra Innings with Pleasure on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The following is a dramatization.
Davis Law Firm, how can I help?
That guy pulled out in front of me out of nowhere. The police are on their way, but I'm really shaken up.
Don't worry. We're going to get you taken care of. You made the right call.
I'm Jeff Davis. If you've been hurt in a car, truck, or 18-wheeler wreck, call Davis Law Firm at 444-4444. We're ready to help day or night, and there's no fee unless we win.
Davis Law Firm, San Antonio.
Nigel, why are you wearing a backpack?
I'm going back to school.
Folks, when your AC decides to flunk out or your home's plumbing is stuck in detention, you don't have to worry. At Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC, and Heating, our technicians are certified with all the latest technology and can fix any plumbing or AC issue fast and at a fair price because you deserve A+ service.
Gotta go, Joel. We're studying paper mache. I might have to pull an all-nighter.
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 141-074-EM16004.
With Robinhood, not only can you trade individual stocks and ETFs, you can also seamlessly buy and sell crypto at low costs. Trade all in one place. Get started now on Robinhood. Trading crypto involves significant risk. Crypto trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Crypto LLC. Robinhood Crypto is licensed to engage in virtual currency business activity by the New York State Department of Financial Services. Crypto held through Robinhood Crypto is not FDIC insured or SIPC protected. Investing involves risk, including loss of principal. Securities trading is offered through an account with Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, a registered broker-dealer.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy team synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Lowe's knows that no matter your paint project, saving is at the top of your list. That's why when you shop today, you can buy one, get one free. Select Valspar and HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. One coat coverage interior paints via rebate. Shop these deals in-store or online today at Lowe's. We help, you save. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Offer valid 8/21 through 9/3.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time, like car wash. Right now, you can save 20% on the Armor All Complete Car Wash Kit. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
94.1.
Welcome back into Extra Innings with Pleasure right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM, SASportsStar.com. I appreciate all of y'all for rolling through tonight. Taking a look at tomorrow's game, a game you can catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star, 94.1 FM. Your South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys, by the way. It is going to be not pretty. I don't think it's the largest line of the weekend. And on banner night, I always look at what has to go right. Cowboys, this defense has to show something that it hasn't shown in the last few years, which is being better without Micah Parsons. They were a top 5 defense with Micah Parsons over the last 3 years. They are 32nd when he is not in the game. It's a stark and marked difference. Micah Parsons out the door. That is your leading sack getter the last season. Chauncey Goldson no longer on the team. Your second most sacks on the team last year. Who else was on that team that led the team in sacks? Basically, the top 4 sackers for the Dallas Cowboys last season not on the team anymore. That is a pretty damning statement, right? And it's very, as a team that finished with, get this, a league low 52 sacks last season on the year. I look at the teams, and of course, Micah leading the way with 12. Chauncey Goldson, 5.5. He was second. Carl Lawson, who they picked up off the street in the middle of the year, 5 sacks, no longer on the team. And DeMarvion Overshone, starting the year on the PUP, 5 sacks, will not be there. The next closest person, 5th on the list, that actually still on the team, Oso Odigizua with 4.5 sacks, Donovan Wilson with 4.5 sacks, and DeMarcus Lawrence with 3 sacks. So only 2 of your top 7 pass rushers last year, or sack leaders last year, are even on the roster for this opening game. That I like Marshawn Nealon. Don't get me wrong. And I know that he had injuries last year, which kept him from really showing out the way we all thought he would. But you got to see it from him. You got to see it from Donovan Azaraku. You got to see it from Dante Fowler. Now, luckily, Fowler has shown it before in a Cowboys uniform, but it was under a different defense. Dan Quinn, no longer in Dallas. This is a different scheme with Matt Eberflus. Can the run defense slow them down? I have my doubts. But if they do, can this defense get pressure? That's another big question. Offensively, we don't know what they're going to look like. We don't know what the scheme is. We don't know if Shadi is being truthful when he talks about wanting to be balanced and running the football and being physical. We don't know because we haven't seen it, because he played with a 7-iron and no starters played all offseason. What does Tyler Booker look like? What does Tyler Guyton look like coming off an injury with really no reps before this game? He's 3 days of practice. Trayvon Diggs, same. There are a lot of question marks. And when there are that many question marks, it's hard to pick them against what is the class of the NFC right now, because they're holding the trophy. They did it. They brought back all their players minus CJ Gardner-Johnson, and they look like they're ready to roll again. Now, will the loss of Kellen Moore affect that offense the same way the previous loss of Shane Steichen affected that offense? Only time will tell. But right now, there are more questions for the Dallas Cowboys just because we don't know what it's going to look like. And for that, I have to take the Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow night in game 1, and we'll see if the Cowboys can bounce back after that, or if they can prove me wrong. But I appreciate all y'all for tuning in tonight. We've got Cowboys. We've got Eagles. It is tomorrow right here on your South Texas home for the Dallas Cowboys, San Antonio Sports Star. It is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, the Davis Law Firm, Hornitos Tequila, Connecticut, and Jim Beam. And don't forget, head out tomorrow to catch the Blitz as they get you ready for that game out at Pete's Place on Bandera Road. Go to Pete's Place. Flight by Yingling is going to be there. You know, Beer Santa is going to have all the good swag and providing free beer while you're out there. So go check it out. Pete's Place tomorrow, 2 to 6. Join Jason and Joe and the Blitz as they get you ready for Cowboys and Eagles. And of course, tune in tomorrow morning. Rob and AJ get you going, 6 o'clock. Have a great night, everybody. Call your loved ones, check on them. You never know what people are going through in life. We will see you on Friday.
94.1 FM.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown." Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me.
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch.